All right, there we go. We're trying. I don't know what this border is. I'm messing with like new features in our stream here. So yeah, there we go. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. You're feeling rested. You're ready to attack the week. Can't believe it. We're literally over halfway through August already, um, which is crazy. We've like 4.5 months left of the year. It's like wild. Uh, so yeah, pumped for today's convo. Doing some digging on some more ChatGPT for sellers. If this is your first time joining, welcome everybody. Excited to have you. And you know what I try to do is every week get tactical with you, help you to really kind of dive in, understand kind of what's working, what's not working for salespeople. Uh, Got everything pulled up. Okay, cool. So yeah, my goal here is just to really help to make sure that everyone, we understand the best practices, what's happening, etc. And I'm going to dive in today to some cool new things around ChatGPT and some prompts that are going to help you to overcome objections and close more deals. Which who doesn't want to do that? Yeah, the thing I'll preface. Okay, let me pull up. I got like three screens. Okay, I got people here. So I'm gonna have to share. Let me pull up LinkedIn here so I can see that as well. All right, there you are. All right, so make sure to drop in the chat whenever you join. Always drop. Like I love to see like where people joining from. We've got such an international audience. It's pretty awesome, and I really appreciate everyone kind of tuning in and joining us. We've got Scott here. He just ordered the book. Love it, man. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you all haven't read Innovative Seller, I should just start giving away. I've got some copies. I can start doing giveaways here. Um, Definitely go check it out. We talk about a lot of these principles. Candidly, I feel like it's the only book you're going to read that actually talks about AI because I built it and rewrote chapters like literally in the last bit before it went to the publisher around AI. So if you're somebody who's interested in that, then all right, there you go. All right, what's up, Greg? How are you, man? Michigan's in the house. New York's in the house. There we go. We've got generative SDR, Florida. There we go. All right. So cool. And then as usual, drop your questions, man. I love Q&A. Like it's one of my favorite things to do. So if you've got a question around, what we're going to jump into or another sales related challenge, let me know. Happy to help. But let's jump into it. So, okay, we're going to talk about Kenya's in the house. There we go. So love to see that. So let's jump into prompting. So what I'm going to tell you is this. You might read the title of this and you say, well, prompts, Jake. Like how important is prompts, right? It seems tactical, I think, to a lot of people where it's like, yeah, it's prompting, but does it really matter? The answer is yes. Yes, it matters. My friends, knowing today, in the future, this is for everyone out there from New York to Southwest Florida, okay? Um, you have to know how to prompt. In the future, the beautiful part here, okay, and you can skip ahead if you want to just sign up for our custom GPTs, which I'll drop a link here in for LinkedIn. So if you want to skip ahead, you can just start using custom GPTs. You can use ours, or you can create your own, or you can use from the store, and they will prompt you. But until you have fully, basically adapted to that, it's really tough to be able to do that. And let's jump into the prompts though. So again, prompting is really important. Okay, until you realize that if you just use these agents, these custom GPTs, then you won't actually have to know how to prompt. But the first one I'm going to talk about is, let's talk about objection handling. So let me see here. Do we have a thing that people can look at? Oh, sweet. Look at this. Nice work, Becca. All right, so you all can follow along. Our team, this is nice work. I love it. They dropped this. My friends, click this link. Let's go. Nice work, team. So you all can follow along some of my prompts. Okay, but let's jump into it, and I will kind of talk you through like how to do this. So there's a type of prompting. Okay, it's called iterative prompting. And what iterative prompting does is it allows me to prompt and then prompt again and then prompt again to build to get to an ideal answer. Now, if you usually I see a lot of people give up. They give up after the first, answer, or they're like, oh, that wasn't very good, or they're like, well, I could have. That didn't really help me. But for a lot of you, what I want you to think about with iterative prompting, it's basically the concept of like, look, the first result isn't going to get you to where you want to be, right? So if you all click that link, that you can check out that PDF. No, there's no gate. There's no. You don't have to give us your email address. But the prompt is something like this. Like, I have a prospect, and I'll just read it out loud. You can find. Here's what they are. That is object to our pricing for our playbooks. Here's where you can find a link to our products. They seemed interested, etc. Examine their business model, market position, past experiences that might be contributing to their challenge, right? And how these factors relate to their objection. Explore the psychological and emotional factors, right? How do these elements interplay? Based on this insights, predict the future challenges and objections that they might have. Given everything, develop a comprehensive strategy, and I'm just kind of paraphrasing, an action plan to address the prospect's current and anticipated challenges. My friends, this is fire. Like, if you like this prompt to me, shout out to the team for that I think maybe Brian or someone who kind of finished this thing. This is why prompting matters. This is why it is a big deal that you know how to do this stuff. Many of you might have just stopped and said, hey, I've got a company, they're objecting to pricing, what should I do? Try this right now. I want you to copy, like, think of a prospect you have, go to ChatGPT, copy and paste it. Okay, objection handling. This is your superpower. This thing is so good, and even just think. I'm going to flip this one on its head a little bit. Think of another world where you could say, I'm anticipating some of these objections. How can I engineer my discovery call to disarm those objections? Could do that. That would work, right? So, all right, so let's dive in here. Let's talk some role playing. Number 2. So number 1, objection. Number 2, meeting prep role play. Ooh, this is a great one. Okay, so this prompt sounds a little something like this. Help me role play a future meeting I've got coming up, right? The last call, they're concerned about upfront costs. They have an internal team, so they're not sure if this would be anything new. And the implementation time seems a little long. I want you to think about how I should address those, acknowledge the objection, right? And then again, kind of give you some options of like, hey, this is how I think I could address them. This person is the CRO, right? Knowing they'll push back, how might I respond to these, right? And then you kind of go to it. How should I respond to convince him they're a right solution? What if he agrees to points 1 and 2, but not point 3? Let's assume I'm having the same call. Go. And then what that will then do is literally in real time create the role play. And the ChatGPT will start to act like the CRO. ChatGPT will start to act like those objections. And so you will no longer have to think, well, what should they do? And again, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But I promise you, again, if you go share this prompt and you and your team go and use this prompt for your next meeting, I want you to DM me after, and I guarantee your DM is going to sound something like this. Holy shit, Jake. I had a meeting coming up. I ran this set of prompts to try to anticipate it. It literally nailed it. I'm like, and again, I can't say with 100% certainty, but I can certainly tell you that this level of meeting prep, it's the meeting prep you used to do in your head, right? It's the meeting prep you used to be like, okay, well, what if this happens and this happens, that you can role play. So anyone out there, again, I'm gonna give a clap to my team for that one. That one is fire. So if you guys don't have that one yet in your repertoire, the role playing for like future objections, what are you waiting for? Okay, proposals with multiple stakeholders. Number 3. Okay, again, you are an AE or a salesperson, whatever your job title. Maybe you're a senior account executive or you got some fun director title. My chair just keeps like shrinking. I don't know if you can see it on camera of me just like slowly going. With this in particular, okay, let's talk about this one, all right, which is the crafting a proposal process. All right, hopefully a lot of you're following along. You pulled up that link there. Make sure to pull up that link there as a part of it. Let's talk about this. So I talked about the meeting prep role play, which was epic, and it will be. Again, you have to promise me if you're taking the time to watch this right now, that you will actually go and do what I'm telling you to do. Okay, I am telling you to do this because it will work. Okay, and then promise me you will also DM me afterwards about the results that you had. So number 3 is about, so we already covered number 1, some objections. Number 2, kind of role playing out some of the meetings. Number 3 is putting together the best proposal, right? So this prompt looks something like this. I'm putting together a proposal for a prospect, and I'm working on the sections about getting engagement from decision makers. The buyer blank is interested in blank. In this proposal, I need to appeal to multiple stakeholders that I know are going to have concerns. The CFO feels ROI is not there. The CMO believes money had better be spent here. Please use both or URLs for additional resources and help me to understand, again, how I could put this proposal together in the best possible way. My friends, I want you to think about that. Okay, I want you to think about how much better your proposal will be if you do what I just said right there. Literally just put that prompt in, say, hey, here's the scenario I got. Tell me what to do, please. I'm ready. I need help, right? So it will crush it. The next one is sorry, I got 5. Number 4 is post-proposal follow-up. Okay, the goal of this is to help you create an action plan. So, okay, and again, there's a couple different things that you can do here. I will tell you this, and for all my people that love Gong in particular, there are a million tools right now that do conversational intelligence. I like Gong. Gong's a good tool. We partner with Outreach's tool. Kaya's phenomenal. SalesLoft's tool is phenomenal. They're all pretty dang good. Greg says, LLMs, the end of sales coaches and expert trainers. I mean, Greg, I've got to tell you, this will be a good story. If you've been following my content around AI, it's been literally a year since Kevin Dorsey and I started doing our show. My journey started on a lot of this it's been over a year, so it would have been like early summer, late spring of last year, with Kevin Dorsey and I going to Pint House Pizza here in Austin, having some beers and some pizza, and Katie and I were just talking about this, and we were like, and then KD was prompting me. He's like, well, Jake, if it can do this, do you think it can do that? And if it could do that, and I can feed it my scorecard, could it do it? And it's like, shit, like, yeah. Like, and then the realization becomes, I've been at this for 20 plus years now, about like right at 20. God, is my experience even relevant? And you got to go through this uncertainty curve, or I don't know what the name of it would be. We go through this kind of uncertainty curve, and then you start to realize, like, oh no, now I can feed it my frameworks. So Greg, it won't replace anything. And Katie and I were talking about this last week on AI Unleashed, which all of you should be signed up for if you haven't. We've got some cool new things that we're in the works for that. But we talked about this because the the leader or the trainer or the coach, it's your frameworks that can make it excellent. And so these prompts that I gave you, they're great for the average, probably better than what your average sales manager, no offense, would tell you to do. But then for those the execs or those managers, then what you're doing is you're basically saying, hey, my framework is better and is actually going to equal a better result. So that's where the appreciate it, LaShawn. That's where it comes into. And yet, Greg also said LLMs equals the end of the C-suite. I've got a buddy of mine, Greg, solopreneur. I think maybe he's got a couple people on the team now. Thank you, Ruby. Ruby said AI Unleashed is great. Thank you. Appreciate you tuning in. My buddy, he created custom GPTs for each to be his fake executive team. So he created a CFO custom GPT, a CMO custom GPT, a COO custom GPT. And I kid you not, he runs a weekly leadership team meeting with his custom C-suite GPTs. And now if you're in sales, I want you to think about how you could apply that, right? And again, I'm going down the rabbit hole a little bit, but just think about how you could apply that same logic. You could create let's say you sell into CMOs, you create a CMO GPT, and its whole job is to train you how to book meetings with it. right? You could create a sales VP, and its job could be to help to coach you and get you more, more deals over the finish line, etc. So again, we are at the very beginning. It's time. It's time. So number 4 was post proposal follow-up. You could feed it the links to the call. You could say generate a follow-up action plan template. So what I like to do is, again, this is how I got down the rabbit hole as I went to Gong and then to this and blah, blah, blah. You can upload your transcript. Just upload it in there. Say, look, create a follow-up for me as a part of this, and go ahead from that follow-up, create a quick little thing. And also include, you could feed it links from your own website, include relevant case studies or webinars that reflect their needs, right? So there's just a lot of this post-proposal follow-up. So it's like, hey, I did all this customization up front. It can summarize it and do some things that Gong just can't do, or your other ones, because it can read your transcript. And we've got one of our custom GPTs. If you all have not signed up for our custom GPTs, you should. One of them is called Meeting Summarizer. And sure, with Gong, I can go and see when did Jake talk about budget, but the LLM, and now Gong is incorporated OpenAI, I believe, in the back end. Someone can keep me honest on that, but I think that they have. It just is really good. And then you can just say, hey, help me to write a proposal follow-up based on these objections that they had and links that we could provide, etc. And then the last, but certainly not least, is helping you to close some more deals here, okay? This prompt, right? Generate a checklist of closing techniques tailored for the hesitant prospect, focusing on overcoming objections related to insert whatever it is. So imagine you're at the end of the deal and you're like, okay, what are some ways that I can help to get this bad boy over the finish line? Or what are some things that are going to come up here at the very end, that might throw a monkey wrench at everything? So all those are really, important as a part of this. So closing the deals, again, if they have concerns about pricing, if they have concerns about the implementation, a whole slew of other things, you, my friend, can go and role play some of this, or even think about how you can build it into your final proposal. These objections, it's sweet, it's awesome, my friends. Like, and Katie and I are talking about this too. Like, you as a seller now should be able to do a lot more higher quality work. Like, that's the exciting part, right? Is for all of you, you're tuned in because you're in sales or touch sales. You should all be able to work at a level of productivity that was unfathomable, 16, 18 months ago. And these techniques, and again, I got to say, and again, this is for my own marketing team too. I think this is one of the best episodes of Innovative Seller from a tactical standpoint that we've had, because these are so easy for you to go and execute. So the 5 that we covered, anticipating and addressing and overcoming objections, no brainer. This can help you to do it before the meeting. It can help you after the meeting. It can help you, and that's kind of number 2, which was prep, which is prep for the second, the role playing, which is, hey, based on all these things, help me to troubleshoot what this person's going to say yes, what are they going to say no about, etc. Number 3, putting together the best possible proposal with multiple stakeholders, right? We all know that different stakeholders care about different things. So how can it help me to put together the right proposal that touches for each one of these people, right? Then number 4, following up. So literally every step, getting prepared, thinking through how the meeting's going to go, handling objections, putting together a better proposal, following up on the proposal. And then number 5, closing the deal. You all should be using custom GPTs and ChatGPT on every deal. Okay. I cannot tell you enough, and I'm gonna drop some links now for all of you. If you're like, Jake, I'm into this, I need more. I'm gonna drop some links that you all can get involved with here. Let me drop it in. Yeah, there we go. There's some checklists in here. Yes, Rob missed the first 15 minutes. I think Rob, I think we're catching up finally this week, man. So, or maybe you're fishing, but looking forward to the conversation. Yes, Rob, you can go back and as soon as I hit end here in about a minute or two, you'll be able to go back to the very beginning and rewatch it. So for those of you that have missed it, you're joining now, do not worry, keep watching, and then you can go back and get more context as a part of it. So again, lots of free resources here. We've got your kind of checklist here, but man, that PDF that we put together with these prompts, it's going to change your life as a seller. And again, I'm not just saying that because we put it together. Obviously, I'm biased, but those prompts to help you with those 5 areas, I hope what it does too is just illustrates Look at Rob. Look at that. This is my man, Rob. There we go. He's on a ferry in Greece, listening to us live talk about generative AI. That is the power of this. And that is why I love doing this stuff. So that's awesome, Rob. Enjoy your fishing trip, man. We'll catch up whenever you're back. And look, for all of you, hopefully there's some tactical stuff. Share these links, man. Share that PDF. There's no gate to it. Just share it with your team. Go take a look. Hopefully it helps. And yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got for y'all this week. And like I said, I think the team, shout out to Becca and Brian and Amaya from our team who put this together. I think y'all did a really phenomenal time. Great job. If you're somebody who's looking to help, I'm going to just drop my Calendly link in here, my Savvy Cal. If you are somebody who's looking, to really take this to the next level, whether it's me or somebody on the team, definitely reach out. Book some time with me. Happy to talk through best practices, what we're seeing, as a part of this. Great last question here. What are some key indicators that suggest a prospect is ready to be closed after overcoming the objection? So this is just a good little sales question here. So to me, there's a couple of things. We use a framework, and I'll drop it in here. For those of you who have not read the book, what are you waiting for, right? But I'm going to drop this link in for you, and you can read about intent, which is our framework. And to me, look, how I look at closing deals, and I'll just wax poetically about this a little bit. Closing is an outcome of a well-executed process. And for me, what I started to do is reverse engineering my pitch to overcome a ton of objections, to where by the time we get to the end, I've got the right people. And again, in intent, the first T stands for teams. In today's buying world, it's why, look, I don't hate Medic. I don't hate MedPick. A lot of people think I hate it. I don't hate them. But my point is, there is no one economic buyer. And so I got in an argument with someone like, Jake, there is one person that signs. I go, yes, there is a person who will sign it. But that person is irrelevant compared to the 4 people in that person's sphere of influence that can actually tank your deal. So if you're worried about getting that one person's name, it's a waste of time. You need to be worried on the team. So intent, for those of you, if you want to engineer your process to overcome all the objections, to where at the end of it, and if you have next steps, you always have a next meeting on the books. The teams of people, the end users, and the economic or the impact team. How educated the different groups are, and you're treating them that way, if they're further up the process or not. You then have got, what am I on the next? Intent, the next one is numerical priority. This one is a game changer for teams. This one, it's so much better than compelling event or BANT. Numerical priority. What numerical priority are you solving for? Is it a top 3? If you're not solving for a top 3 numerical priority for that business, the likelihood is very slim. And then the last T is time to impact. And this is where I think actually MedPick and Medic have it right, which is just when do you need to see impact by? So if you have next steps always laid out, the teams that are involved, you're treating each team based on their education level, you're getting them the right information that they need throughout. You understand you're solving for a top 3 priority, and you understand when they need to see impact by, not sign the contract by. I've done all I can do. So, that's for me. Like if I can do those things, then I've got a pretty high likelihood that the deal is going to close, or at least I can say I've done all that I can do as a part of it. So, all right, y'all, that's what I got for you. Share these links. There's a lot of cool stuff. If you haven't, sign up for our custom GPTs. If you don't like it, you can cancel. They are awesome. They will save you time not even having to do a lot of these prompts because we've already built them into the custom GPTs. So sign up. It's about 50, I can't remember, it's 50, 75 bucks a month, something like that, but you will see value. We're constantly updating them. So that's what I got, Joe. I probably will not be live the rest of this week. So if I don't, I will see you all next Monday. All right. Have a great rest of your week.